Hello and welcome to the Agency Show by Clientjoy. I'm Yash, co-founder and chief executive at Clientjoy. At Clientjoy, we help agencies manage their leads, proposals, contracts, projects, support, invoicing, and payments, the whole 9 yards. The Agency Show is our podcast where we invite agency experts and owners who make sell-us figures a year talk about their problems across growth, fulfillment, and revenue. Talk about their journey of solving problems. If you're an agent, this show is so do not forget the subscribe button. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Agency Show. Today, I am joined by Aquibar. Aquibar runs a company or a product called Mailmodo. Aquibar, thank you for taking the time out. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what's Mailmodo?
Thanks a lot, Yash, for first of all to inviting me to this webinar. And so I am the CEO founder of a company called Mailmodo, a young startup. We started 2020 amid pandemic, and now we have developed a product which allows email marketers to create and send in emails where they can add forms, calendar, shopping cart within the email itself. How it helps user them with these kind of actionable elements in the email. The user have to click on a link and go to it. They can take action within the email. So conversion rate and the response rate increase.
Awesome. And so that sounds like a product. And thank you for joining us today. So we're primarily going to talk about events of email marketing. And we're going to talk about certain key aspects of email marketing, in the sense what are the things that you can do for improving conversion rate, what are the new things and built in email marketing space, specifically around AMP emails and kind of getting into which kind of emails are performing better, so on and so forth. So first question for you, Akib, is what are some of the aspects of a good email marketing engine that an agency should build for themselves?
Okay. Do you mean tools by engine? What do you
No,
mean?
I mean, what are some of the aspects that agency should consider before they start building an marketing engine? I mean, so I don't mean tools necessarily, but it could be a collection of processes and stuff.
Okay. In order to build an email marketing, there's one that necessary to do that is you should have email list. So, and there are a lot of ways to collect email, can create good content and create value for your target audience and create that kind of email list. So I will not go into that because the area is vast. I will more like to talk about what happens when you have the email list.
Correct.
So once you have the email list, it's very that you engage your audience in your audience and make them buy your product or convert to for your services. And in that case, and for any marketing, not just for agencies and but also for their customers, I think there are three main aspects of marketing that people should consider. One is your deliverability. Is your email delivering to the user? Second is user is able to open the or is opening the emails, right? And then third is taking the action, the desired action that you want him or her to take. So to in order to fix this, you should have a good IP and ESP to deliver your users inbox. You should have a good copywriter can help you write the subject line and the content of your email. And the third is have a good structure of the email itself to make your user work.
Got it. Got it. And so essentially what you're saying is that like key ask for running a successful email engine is obviously the copy and the content have to be fantastic. And then there are certain metrics that you should measure, which is basically how much through happens on the call to action you have in your email, what open rates and what is the deliverability as well, which highly kind of depends on reputation that your IP server IP carries and like that. And so for people who may not have done a email marketing before, can you explain a little bit around deliverability aspect of it, and can you talk a little bit more around what does our reputation mean? If you can share a little bit on.
Okay. So deliverability depends on. So further, I will structure it into multiple points. The deliverability one, your IP/ESP reputation. You don't have much control over that. Your ESP does. So choose an ESP which is well reputed and wisely. You can reviews from their other customers, etc. Second is your domain. Your domain is very critical and it is in hand. So it is basically how you have engaged with your historically.
Okay.
Suppose
Okay.
if your users have marking you as spam, your domain reputation is going down, and
Got it.
one day one of your domain will be blacklisted with one email blacklister or even the email, and your emails will not be for that particular email client. So and the third be uh, basically the the your email list actually. So where if list is not clean, if your email list has mail traps, etc., your emails will not be delivered properly. So make sure that you have a clean email list, except clean email list, and verify them with email tools. So if you keep getting high bounce rate, that also affects domain reputation. So which I mentioned in the second point. So if you follow these points, your deliverability should be solved.
Got it. And so, what we are also to do for all you listeners and viewers out there is that wherever watching this, whether it is YouTube or whether you're doing this, whether it is Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we are to the criterias that Akib listed up in terms of how your deliverable, what will impact delivery. We are going to give examples of what ESPs are, give you a couple of examples around or couple of tools around how can you clean your email list and on and so forth. And so moving on to the next part of our conversation. I mean, there's all the around in hearing is there are plain text emails and then there are rich HTML emails. There's a new category that's really opening up, which is AMP emails, right? And can you talk a little bit about that? As an AMP email, how does it work? What is it for?
Yeah. So traditionally, so there's something called MIME types. They traditionally they were HTML and TXT text type. So text is just the email that you and I get over Gmail or any other events, and mostly most of the marketing emails that you get HTML emails, and they are created by tools, the email marketing tools that you have. So those create HTML. AMP is another framework which was initially launched 2015 for web. Google released it for email in 2019.
Okay.
So it is just a native framework, but it allows a lot more to do than just HTML. So in HTML, you can add image and link. There can be any kind of interactivity, cannot be any transfer with your server or any API, etc. Now with AMP, all of that is available. So
Okay.
inside an email, you can create an application. So for example, you meeting with your customers, you can make them do that in the email itself. You can create a shopping cart inside the email. You can add form, survey, and even cells, accordions, etc. The email itself. You can connect to guys. You can show data in line inside email itself. So it is evolving. It is still evolving. A lot of are still getting built there. But the direction is that in future, people have created web, people have created mobile application, Chrome applications, etc. People will be creating email applications, and
Okay.
all those will be powered by.
So then what essentially we is for all the non-tech viewers out there, what actually saying is MP emails basically for exchange data between the application and the user or the recipient of that email. So up until now, people were either in plain text just able to read the email or
Mm,
open the attachment that was sent out. In
mm,
HTML, they could see the images and get redirected to
mm.
um,
The
different
website.
URLs and websites and
Mm,
URLs. And AMP essentially have a micro app built in. So say if you're, as an
yeah.
example, if you're running an e-commerce and
Mm,
if there's an abandoned cart, then you
yeah.
can essentially send out that whole abandoned cart email and the order can be completed within that email itself.
True.
Is that, oh, okay, awesome. That's so it must be performing in terms of the performance. Do you have any data, any understanding around which emails are known form better?
Hmm. Yeah, so what we have tried till now with our clients around lead generation, booking, and service, and we
Mhm.
have got I did few experiments where we compare HTML and AMP email performance. We send a number of HTML as well as AMP emails to a similar
Okay.
audience set with
Mhm.
similar intent. Just the difference was that AMP had a form inbuilt, while
Mhm.
HTML a button which is up to the with the form. and we got very good results. So, for example, we worked with one of the payment companies in India. They use it for lead generation there, and 87% higher number of leads with the AMs. And then they try with a survey,
Mhm.
and NPS survey. They were taking feedback from their users, and they got 225% higher response rate.
Wow.
So that is like, I mean, like 3 kind of conversion. And then we also with a job website where they send email to their job applicants, fill the application form. So created we created the application form, the email itself,
Mhm.
and they got 4x higher conversion. With a normal email, they were getting around 10% application to open ratio. With AMP email, they 44% application to
Wow.
open ratio. So
Wow.
we have been getting similar results with the companies as well. So yeah, numbers are like really high, and there are reasons for that. One, the user that so when we all use email all the time, when we are traveling, we are in a cab or in an elevator, or when we are having food or are in
Yeah.
meetings, right?
Yeah.
And watching TV, and if at that time click on this link and do to a website and do this, they not do it. But if
Correct.
they see that there is a two options here itself, I it right now and fulfills purpose, they will probably do it. Okay, it's just 2 clicks, right?
Yeah.
So they will do that, and that is why the content is increasing.
And so it seems to me that it essentially is following a very simple principle, right? Where instead of people being in mail application and then going being taken to opening a link in the browser for waiting for the page to load and then interacting that particular page, if they're able to like record a response right there and then, it's essentially removing friction, right? And it's being designed to get the quality and higher amount of response, and the data that we're talking about, it's not 5% increment, 10% increment, also could make a huge difference, but we're talking about 225%
Hmm.
improvement or 4% improvement,
Yeah.
and so forth. So these are, so it sounds like AMP emails are email often, and so given
Hmm.
that, I understand if so we use a host of mail services, right? We use AWS SES
Hmm.
for our product teams, and then we
Hmm.
also do marketing emails, use different softwares for that. We've used Mailchimp, we've used Sendinblue, used
Hmm.
HubSpot, we've used Intercom, we used a hub of a host
Hmm.
of different softwares.
Hmm.
However, I've never seen. So, do you these services offer right now, or people do around about it?
So I will tell you a back story. So I was a marketer myself, and I had marketing a large startup in India.
Hmm.
So when I was doing marketing, I used to face similar challenges that the conversion rate was low. I wanted to prove that, and I could not do that. And when I wanted startup, I saw AMP email thing, and that really started marketing. So I
Hmm.
actually started. I started researching where can I try this? How can I
Hmm.
try this? So most current email marketers, because their system is built in a very HTML email, they were not able to support email. And some services like AWS, SES, etc., they allow email sending. You still have to create AMP email. After that,
Yeah,
a lot of
a
technical
lot of
development.
development kind of goes into, yeah,
Yeah, because to connect to your database, you need to have
yeah,
form, you need to have validation, etc. So it doesn't. So tool there are no tools provide you whole AMP creation as ending together. So that we built Mailmodo because there was a need as well as an opportunity to serve to a marketers who want to send these emails. So with
yeah,
Mailmodo is probably the only tool in the world where you can go create different kinds of emails, have forms, validation, etc., and then you can send from there itself. You don't have different tools or different softwares, etc. The other tools in the market who some of them provide you allow you to send email if you have code, but you
hmm,
need to develop. There are some other tools like Sto who help you create AMP. But Mailmodo is something that helps you do the complete journey from creation to sending to analytics.
That kind of explains why I think Mailmodo was also number one product the day on Product Hunt, right? Because there are a lot less available, and it's kind of a category where you can't live with. I mean, marketeer, 5% increase in any is something a marketeer cannot live without. And would thank. I mean, I would thank you for sharing these insights with us today, Akib. And we want to, I mean, we'll keep it, want to see Mailmodo as an action. If you could take us through the whole product demo, that would be, extremely helpful for all the people viewing and listening to us across different platforms. However, for sharing your insights, I thank you again. Thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great. And so for people who are listening in us, we will be making Mailmodo's. So Mail is a Clientjoy partner. They're offering they're offering a 20% discount for all Clientjoy customers to sign up on Mailmodo premium plans. Linking out the details to that description wherever you're watching below. And we'll also be linking out a LinkedIn profile. So if you have any questions that I was not asked during this con around email, you can reach out to him or his profile, and he'd be to engage and answer and generally help you, right? And so
Sure.
thanks, Akib, once again.